Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, and good evening, Kristin. Just a real nice shout out to Kristin in the last two shows because listen, she's reading books and not paying attention to me because we have a show for you this evening. We are on, and as you can see, Kristin is still not paying attention to me, but I do want to shout out to Kristin Hartnett for pinch hitting for 2 shows. I really appreciate it. Some of us need vacations, and some of us need cataract surgery. So, oh my gosh, you people are still there. So thank you for watching Mystic Matters. We got a faithful following, and I just want to reach out and thank you. And thank you, Kristin. What's happening in our town of Mystic?
You're welcome. Well, I just came from the library.
Oh, I can see that.
I have so many books. This happens to me every time I go.
Okay.
You know?
All right, yeah.
So, what's happening?
Yes.
Let's see here. Oh, look, Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce is having a business before hours on September 6th.
All right.
At the Mystic Chamber of Commerce. It's health and wellness.
Okay.
Juice Plus and Isogenics. They're going to do some demonstrations.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And those of you who haven't been by the Welcome Center yet, you can come by for coffee, 8 a.m. on Thursday morning.
Bring your business cards as well. Great time to network.
Exactly. And then September 12th is business after hours at Catherine M. Cheryl Zamzis is hosting us, and this is actually the event where we're going to do the drawing for the Susan Noyes painting. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet.
I bought tickets, okay, and I have to have that painting.
Yeah. Well,
we
can't really.
No.
If you want to buy one, we do sell prints.
We do, and I bought one of those too.
But there's no behind-the-scenes monkeying around with the tickets.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. No,
it's gotta be fair and square.
It's got to be fair and square.
Unless you buy like 7.
Okay, I got it. But I do have a beautiful print, and thank you, Susan Noyes, for that signature commemorative print for the 60th anniversary of Mystic Outdoor Art Festival. So, Catherine M's, downtown Mystic, great place to go. She has great clothing, and of course, Cheryl Zamzis. Doesn't get any better than that fashion queen.
We love her. She did our bathroom.
Get any better.
She redid our bathroom upstairs in the Mystic Chamber Welcome Center.
Okay, Cheryl, thank you for the bathrooms as well. I mean, I'm trying to get it out there.
It's gorgeous. It's wonderful. She's stylish.
Well, we thank you, Cheryl.
Okay.
So moving on to our great town of Mystic, Connecticut.
Oh, did you see this one? Mystic Secrets.
That's my secret that I'll be... this Rhoda and
Kathy
Lee
Liberty
is just...
Pole. I got these all at the library.
This is a great segue to... What are we speaking about this evening?
We're talking to the Mystic and Noank Library this evening. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
To Rhona Heyl, who is the outgoing president of the Board of Trustees.
Correct.
And Bill Turner, President-elect.
It's great to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
Welcome.
And I just want to reach out to both Rhona and Bill Turner as we speak about the organizations that they are actually involved with now. But Rhona and Bill have also been involved with many organizations throughout Mystic and our New London counties. So, and they continue on to do great work at community service and continue on to be part of the passion of our great town Mystic and also New London County. So thank you, Rhona, for your service, and Bill for your community service.
Thank you for that.
So we're going to talk about the Mystic and Noank Library at 40 Library Street. And we're also going to talk about a little bit on how Mystic Noank Library has defined itself now in 2017. So Rhona, why don't you kick us off?
Well, a lot of exciting things happening at the library. I'm really pleased after almost 3 years as president of the Board of Trustees to be passing along an organization that's really in very, very good shape. We have an excellent board, very diverse set of skill sets, really hardworking, and we have a new director. We transitioned from Lois Hiller to Chris Johnson, and we thank Lois very much for her hard work for many years, and Chris is doing a fantastic job. We have a new director of development. We transitioned from Sally Halsey to Karen Bradshaw, and there's been a lot going on there. And we have a new logo, which is right behind me. Ta-da, the big reveal.
As Frank zeroes in on that a little bit closer, thank you, Frank, and thank you, Rhona.
That's so nice.
That's a great design.
Yeah.
And you've got, tell me about it though.
It was a lot of work. It took a long time, believe it or not. And we really worked hard on it. It was Miranda Creative.
Sure.
Maria
Yeah,
Miranda.
Maria
Miranda
Miranda. Maria.
Norwich.
Yeah.
Big shout out to her. Thank you. And a lot of the time that she and her designers put into that was pro bono. So we really appreciate that. So the symbolism of the pediment over the top of the typography is actually the pediment that's over the front door of the Mystic and Noank Library. And the green color is reminiscent of the green of that detail. And it's not literal, but it's reminiscent of the sort of Art Nouveau look. And then, of course, on the bottom, you have pages of the book. So that's
opened up. Yeah.
so that's it's sort of a nod to the history of the library. And then in the middle, what we thought was really important is, what do you think that is right there in the
To
middle?
me, it looks like that Google thing where you actually like say, "This is where you are."
Bingo. That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what it is.
Like on the
like-
maps, when you Google Map, it's right here.
Yep.
Nice.
So it's really a combination of the paying homage to the history of the library, but then also saying we're taking this organization forward because libraries must evolve, as we all know.
I also see it as almost branching and intertwining in that triangle and looking at the inclusivity of that library for many communities, for both Stonington and for Groton coming together under one roof and for the benefit of the community as far as what they have for technology offerings.
Symbolism.
It's a great symbolism.
It really is,
to
all the
bring
way
communities
around.
together.
Just a shout out, Bill, as we move forward in the direction the Mystic Noank Library is going. Libraries in general, we have our phones, we have our iPads, we have our readers. We don't need a library, Bill.
I'm going to jump on that because I think our strategic plan is saying the reverse. We know the value of the community library, and we've taken censuses from our own communities to know that they very much want that a part of what a successful community is and what makes a great neighborhood. And the Mystic Noank Library has been fulfilling that mission for decades now. We've worked hard to take a look at where we're going in the future. We know that we're very good at working with young learners and also with seniors. We also have a niche to fill for that teenage learner, and we have a new program now where we just received a grant for STEM research, which stands for science, technology, education, and mathematics, and working with students that we feel that we've fallen a little short on, but we need to address the fact that that teenage high school learner, we'd like to engage them much more at the library. The strategic plan, we have many ideas for the property, and as we move forward, we know we have a void in the meeting space. We have a demand that outgrows what we can currently do and what we have in our meeting space at the AIM space. So our strategic plan says, okay, so what is the library tomorrow? We know we need more meeting space, a place that can maybe bring 125 people for a guest lecturer. And I think that is part of the plan. We've had very generous donors to allow us to start thinking about where we want to be tomorrow. We were gifted the Comrie House on the property.
Yes.
And we were also given a legacy gift from another donor in the last year or so, which helps us start thinking about where we want to be tomorrow with the future of that library.
And then you got a cat.
We have a cat.
Great.
Like does the
We've always had a cat. Haven't we
I
always
don't
had a
think
cat?
so. I thought this was like a new cat with a new Facebook page, and like it's the famous cat.
Actually, there was that's a perfect segue
Yes,
to
because I was going
our-
to say we had a cat.
Yeah, and this is actually the cat that passed away a few years ago was Emily.
Oh,
This
no.
is Emily's brick.
Oh, Emily.
And
In the days of Joanna Case.
in the days of Joanna
Yes,
Case.
I remember the
Exactly.
cat very. I remember Emily.
And
yes.
actually, it was also a part of our strategic plan. Should we get a cat? Should we not get a cat? What are the ramifications of that? And
Right.
Mito is a very popular guy. A lot of people come to the library to
Yeah.
see Mito.
Yeah.
And they bring donations. They feed him. They donate his litter and toys. And
Wow, really?
yeah, he's a very popular guy. And actually, they have. This is actually very interesting. I did not know this. They have, if you Google cats at libraries, they have a catalog of every library in the world.
Yeah.
Catalog. Yeah. And Mito is in there, as is every cat that lives in every library. And this goes back to the days of Alexandria, the libraries of Alexandria. because the cats ate the mice to protect the parchment. So long history.
Do you think they had to audition? Like, did Mido have to audition?
Oh yeah, it was big. He's a little guy, but it was big shoes to fill
Big to do.
for Emily.
And shortly after he appeared, he needed dental problems. Had dental problems. So we started with the vet bills right away. So, but he does have a strong following on our website, and people love having the cat in the library, and the children love to come and visit, and it's often part of the story time and readings in the child center. So it works out very nicely.
Well, a cat really teaches you how to relax. If
There
you go
you
to
go.
the library and the cat is just kind of in the corner, like this is what you're supposed to be doing in the library, just kind of hang out and read.
Do whatever.
And, do whatever.
But who
get
doesn't
quiet.
remember the days of, your parents bringing you to story time? And it was always at the library.
No.
And it still is.
And yes, and it
Still
still is. And I think in this day and age where we want children to really go back to the basics in sense, bring your kids to the library. I mean, what a better place to not only educate them on sort of how to be quiet. No, I'm serious. But
Right.
the mind is a very, very, at a certain age, that 1 to 7 age is very, very important. What better way than to pick up a book
Maybe not
and
that
to rent it and to read it and to feel it? To this day, my husband says, I'd rather have a book.
one. Yeah. I would too.
And why pay for a book when you can pay for a membership and have a worth of knowledge?
And it's free. The membership is free.
Free. That was my point. It is free. And we encourage this, but we have to encourage this not only amongst ourselves as baby boomers, but with the newer generation as families, are coming up.
Absolutely. See that?
Coming up. And that's Mystic Secrets.
Mystic Secrets by Anne Hallam. There you go.
Got to have that.
It is a riveting mystery, and it takes place right in Mystic.
It does.
Yeah.
Didn't we have her run that?
I don't
No.
know.
Oh,
One
I
of the
don't
things
remember.
that's
It's
what
just-
I
yeah.
love too about the library, about the books. So people can publish their own books, right? And then they can be in the library. So not only do you connect with people by going there
Yes.
and face to face, but you connect with people and their efforts and their creativity in their books. Like this is
Absolutely.
from the Mystic. This is from the Mystic Flag Committee. They were ambitious and
I
they
have
made a
that.
book.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
So
that's very, very
historic.
good point. So we have a fundraiser coming up.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's September 27th, and for all of you that have in the past enjoyed the engine room, you're actually going to be able to get in. They had a great season down at the engine room.
Yep.
But this year ours is September 27th. It
We have the
starts
whole
at
facility. We have
we,
the whole.
the
we
whole
have our own
facility,
facility
yeah.
for the night.
Nice.
It will take on a more cosmopolitan flair with our fundraiser. The tickets are
$125.
$125 a piece.
But why
Because
is
it's
that?
the 125th
125th
anniversary.
anniversary. Yep.
And we have a limited supply of tickets. We're doing very well. Tickets are still available. You can get them by calling the library or going on to mysticnoanklibrary.org and purchasing them online. We're very excited. It's a new venue for us this year. I'd like to give a shout out to some sponsors.
Oh,
if that's
absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
We
Yeah.
have a lot of our community businesses have supported the library for many years now, and at this event we still have space for additional sponsors if you'd like to jump on board. But I want to give a shout out to Mark Densmore from Densmore Oil. It's Snedeker Yacht Restoration. We also have one of our trustees, Jonna Taylor from Dime Bank, is supporting this. Thank you again. A constant sponsor in our community. A big shout out to Chelsea Grottenbank, Marion Thomas Fitzgerald. Everyone knows for the community work that they do. We have Nancy Buckley, who stood up for Dominion Energy.
Yes.
They're going to be one of our sponsors this year. Thames Valley Communications, and of course, it wouldn't be an event without Berkshire Hathaway Home
Absolutely.
Services.
Oh,
With their banner.
absolutely. That's
So,
great.
we shout out to them. We have a lot of partners at the library, not only people that sponsor, but people that do things for the library and have for many decades now. We have the Friends of the Library. We have the spring fundraiser that's done with the Mystic Garden Club for helping with raise funds. And also that not only do they do the fundraising, but a lot of times there are so many people that get out there and do the legwork of helping
Sure.
to prune and clean and rake, and volunteers from the Coast Guard, or whether they be from many organizations. Everyone pitches in a hand for the Mystic Noank Library.
And that's a lot of fun too, by the way. So stay posted. If you want to know what's going on at the library, we have a monthly e-blast that comes out. And there is so much going on, movies and lectures, and you were talking about connecting with people. We have a wonderful sort of travel lecture series where people come and talk about the travels that they have been on with photography, and they're extremely popular, packed to the rafters. We have a music series. The Rude family sponsors a music series throughout the course of the year. And the cleanup days are just a blast. We all get together and we bring our trucks and our tools and get in there and you know, whack the bushes back, and it's a way to, and the people come from the Ark to help out, and they get really excited about it. So it's a lot of fun.
Community partnering.
A lot of community partners.
So speaking of the grounds, and we look at little Emily's little brick here, but these bricks are also available too, Rhona, right?
They are. Again, with $125 years theme, or 125th anniversary. It's called Book a Brick, and you can pick up a form at the library, or you can go online. Again, it's available online. And what's nice about this, Bill and I were just talking about this. This is Emily's brick. I have a brick, which commemorates my presidency, because I am really proud of that. But if you have a special event or an anniversary or a pet that you want to memorialize, or even just an idea that you'd like to see, it's a great way to do that. And
where are these going?
They go right in the front walkway of the library. So
you actually, when you're coming up to the library,
you'll see them as you walk down the brick pathway right into the front door entrance. You'll see them.
Yep. And this was a happy story where it's one of these things where we had a problem. The problem was that the book depository was going into the building, and the fire marshal didn't like that. So we had to take a book depository that's now outside of the library, away from the building.
Yes.
And when we wanted to install that, we noted that the water pooled in front of the main entrance to the library. So we said, well, if we're going to have to do the work to replace that
whole entryway,
then let's make it a fundraiser.
Yeah.
And actually, it's done very, very well. And what's nice too is that we are continuously putting in bricks. So it's usually about 4 months. Every 4 months, we take all the ones that have happened for the fast, and then we install them. So it won't be forever that you'll have to wait to see your brick.
So Bill, we talk about the strategic plan going forward and more meeting space. Is it in the strategic plan? Is there a parking issue too? Is that something that down the line, as you get more people in, and you even hold mini events too?
That's right. You raise a good point. You know, a lot of times people, if they have a concern at the library, they might have trouble parking.
Right.
We usually use the street parking as well as our own parking lot. We can certainly use more. The gift we received within the last year or so will enable us to include that in the strategic plan. To the extent that we wanted to build additional meeting space to the Ames room, that's in the plan. There's several balls in the air as far as what is going to end up being the reality of a project in the next couple of years.
Right.
But we're certainly going to do our due diligence to make sure it's something that the community wants, and that would be to the benefit of the library and to both the Stonington and Groton communities.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, the one thing I see in Mystic that we're really missing is a space like the LaGrua Center in the borough.
Yeah.
Not very much parking,
Right.
but then the borough is very similar to Mystic in that a lot of the patrons live within walking distance.
Absolutely.
So, you know, and having some place like that could be used for performances and functions, and potentially, you know, we are also talking about, should we rent the space? Should we make it available as another, because again, you know, with the pressure on funding from the towns, it's always, we need to be realistic about what, you know, how we can bring revenue into the library that still is within the confines of our mission, right? We are a library. That's the number one thing that we are. We serve the community, but as directors, we need to be mindful.
But you also, I mean, the reality of it, you know, as we, Rhona, just really quick, it's one of the most beautiful historic buildings in downtown Mystic. I mean,
it's a hidden gem.
It's a really hidden gem, and for a lot of us who know how to get there and walk there, and just start from the steeple up, or start from Mystic Pizza up, wherever you want to. Yeah, it's absolutely. But that little walk up there and see this magnificent building on 40 Library Street. Can you just tell us a little bit of history on the building? Do you know?
Oh, it's fascinating history. It actually was built by a gentleman called Captain Elihu Spicer. 125 years ago. Back to that theme.
Spicer Mansion.
Spicer Mansion was right across the street, and he actually, very interesting guy. He was a clipper ship captain.
Yes.
They made clipper ships in Mystic, which I am. That's just the epitome of romantic. As a sailor,
You're right.
It's the most beautiful boat that was ever created. And it's funny, I was just writing the president's letter yesterday, finishing that up, and one of the things I was thinking about was what a living memorial he left for us. He didn't build a big edifice to himself. He gave us something that is hopefully will go on forever. And and the gifts that we've gotten over the years from other very significant benefactors, it all helps. It's all and we're very careful about the stewardship of that place, and we want to do things, but we want to make sure we do them right. The Ames Room was the whole addition. There was a major addition, it doubled the size of the library, was the result of a gift. So if you're making legacy plans and trying to decide what you want to leave to the community, it's a wonderful thing to think about of how your gift could be the next generation and the next iteration of what the library might become.
Now, do you have community folks and residents that are involved in the planning? Is it just the Board of Trustees that decides that, or do you guys have committees? Or?
No, we will do focus groups to get a feel from what the community wants, and we do, under Rhona's stewardship, we did have opportunities for the public to actually join a trustee meeting, so that although they're not voting members of the trustee group, that their opinions count, and we value them, because we really want to hear exactly what our constituents want in a successful library. It only makes sense, because if we didn't do that, we wouldn't have the constant support that not only we get from the two towns, which is critical to our operation.
Which we're very appreciative
Very
of.
appreciative of both
Stonington and
Groton.
Groton. We have to just get that out there.
That they do support us, and we're very happy that they see the importance of supporting a community library. But also that those people that are supporting us, whether it be individual donations or people who want to remain anonymous, that we make sure that in their planning and what they see the library to be, that we're considerate of that.
Well, because people, I think, for me growing up, my library, it becomes a part of who I am and what I remember,
absolutely.
right? And so I feel like I own a little bit of it.
Right.
So I really want to know what's going on with it, and I want to have some kind of say, like, oh, don't put that addition on there, or make sure that it's tasteful, or that kind of thing.
Susette, you mentioned to me earlier before we taped that you were there as a young girl.
I was there as a young girl. Absolutely, my whole family. As a matter of fact, I think it was years ago now, Mystic Matters, but I actually still have my original membership to the Mystic Noank Library. But I wanted to also tell you that was a big foundation and a staple in my life as I went forward to a higher education. I remember walking to downtown Mystic with my books, and the other side of it was meeting a little boyfriend over there too. And we studied together, and then when he wasn't there, well, hopefully I went back again the next night and studied again, that type of thing. But for us, that we're really, literally, I grew up there on the streets of Mystic, and it was a place of place. It was not only on the educational side, but I also want to say this because it's very important. It was a safe and is a safe place to be. And libraries are safe. You go there, you're quiet, you have all the resources you want around you, and you'll find a few friends along the way. So it's very important as we go forward and keep this gem thriving in downtown Mystic. But understand something else. If you just want to come to see this historical site, which I think it should be on like a historical national.
We're working on it.
I'm saying things.
It might be in here.
Yeah, like it should be, and I don't know. Maybe I'm going a little bit forward to Bill's presidency, but it should be to me on the National Registry, part of our historical component of Mystic.
We are
Okay,
working
you
on
heard
getting
here.
it on the map.
Anything
yes.
else? It should be.
It should
Bill.
be, absolutely. We have so much support, and we value it. We never take it for granted. We just came off the summer season where, if you looked at our programs on the Mystic Noank Library website, it's constant. It's every day.
Oh, we have a new website,
it's
too.
By the hour.
Yeah. Website.
Yeah.
MysticNoankLibrary.org has been revamped. It's a much better tool for people as far as scheduling, making
responsive.
gifts, or
On
responsive.
your phone and your tablet.
And this, just for a quick shout out to
Yeah.
those people that were involved in our summer programming sponsors, we have the Friends of the Mystic Noank Library, who we cannot live without, the Mystic Women's Club. Once again, Chelsea Groton Bank is in there for the summer program, and the Sidney Gross Memorial Fund. So thank you to those organizations who helped us get through our summer and be able to achieve a lot of the successes that we had this year.
I really did feel like I was missing out because I get an email almost every day, if not 2 emails a day, like, well, this is going on to the library. Well, this is going on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
why
it's
aren't you
great.
doing this? I'm like, I don't know. I should be doing that.
Exactly.
Something.
Well, Rhona, thank you for your legacy too.
thank
as
you.
you leave the presidency, but I know you.
She will not be far.
You won't be very far, but thank you very much for all your work on the Mystic Noank Library.
Thank you.
And Bill Turner, I am sure, you've already been in the store with the little donation form and said, we'll see you
And
on
thank
the day
you
here.
for that
Well,
very much.
I think the both of you have done a great job, and
Appreciate
Bill, we
it.
continue
Thank
to
you.
support you as you come into the presidency. It's the Mystic and Noank Library. Just a shout out for the event, the fall fundraisers at the Engine Room in Mystic, Connecticut. There are still tickets available. Come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, just really quick, the Book a Brick. I want to tell you something. This is the greatest thing if you want to just a memory or even do it yourself. A little fun. There you go, Rhona. We have our own van of white. But very, very important. We'll continue to do the bricks throughout the year as long as, well, until they run out. But
Until they run out.
Whenever that is.
That'll be a while. That'll be
And
a while.
Kristin, we've lost her because as soon as the books, this is want to talk about a book maniac right
The
here.
Groton story.
We have lost Kristin Hartnett, but that's okay. She pinched hit for me for 2 shows. So I thank you very much, Kristin. And Mystic and Noank Library, Rhona, Bill Turner,
Thank you.
glad to have you on the show. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening.
Thank you.